Hello everybody and welcome to the January 2019 update from Clydebridge Station. No running shots in the layout this month, but got a few things to go through. A couple of new arrivals, one not of the rolling stock variety by the way, and a brief mention of some of the work that I've done. I haven't done a lot of work on the layout this month and I'm going to just slow the progress a little bit so I can pad out the videos. And not just that, obviously, the job I'm working in does not earn me telephone number wages every month, so I'm actually being very cautious where I can with my money, and I've just recently had a major repair done on my car, so I will be scaling back on some of the work that I'm doing, but there will be minor things done every month. So without much further ado, I'll go and talk you through the couple of new arrivals that I've had this month. I celebrated my 40th birthday recently, so this is something you're now going to see a lot of. This is a present from my Auntie Kathleen in Lanarkshire, Flying Scotsman. It's a replica nameplate of from the famous steam locomotive which is recently returned to running on British Rail metals. Although I don't believe it carries its LNER livery at the moment. It's painted in the British Railways green livery. But this is a replica nameplate, Flying Scotsman, and yes, I am trying to rival Gary Anderson, the darts player, for the nickname. When I tweeted him a photo of it and told him that I was rivaling him, he replied, "You only have one? I've got two." Looks like it's not just darts he's able to beat me at. But on an altogether more serious note, this is the latest rolling stock arrival that we've got on the layout. Now, it was purchased via Facebook from my friend David Watson, who, as you know, runs the excellent Dean Park Station layout on YouTube and Facebook. And this is 47832 Tamar in unbranded Intercity Swallow livery. And it provides an interesting contrast, its livery, with that of 47835 Windsor Castle, which you see there at the buffer stops. 47832, like all my other Class 47s on the layout, is a Bachmann product, and it was named in 1982 at the Plymouth Lera Open Day in April 1982 by Fern Britton, TV presenter, who was a presenter and announcer with the local ITV franchise holder at the time, TSW. Oddly enough, a month after this locomotive was named Tamar, after a river in Devon, it was transferred by British Rail to Landor Depot in Swansea, deep in the heart of HTV Cymru Wales territory. The reasons why have never been recorded. But the locomotive, like all my other 47s, will not carry detailing on it because that will obstruct the couplers, and it is a double-ended layout that I'm needing to use, or double-ended locos I need to use here. But the locomotive has got the data panel in the correct place there, something which I noticed was conspicuously absent on one of my other locomotives. Up there it is there, 47475, I do not see its data panel on there, so a slight hiccup. But if I find it I'll let you know. But the data panel is down there, along with a couple other things. Very minute numbering just down there, so minute. There you go, so minute, whoops. The locomotive is correctly fitted with the cab to show telephone aerials that you see there. And like all the others, has a driver in the number one end of it, with the window partly down, the drop light window. Now, in addition to that, if you've been following my YouTube channel, you'll notice that I did a video about buying a loco via eBay and giving you the hints and tips, and obviously that locomotive was 47628 Sir Daniel Gooch. I won't give you a full review of it just yet because it's sitting down here on the test track. It's not got its DCC decoder fitted yet. David Watson actually fitted the DCC decoder in this for me, So my thanks go to David Watson at Dean Park Station. He was actually selling this loco on behalf of a friend who was going to renumber it for a project, but never got round to it. So my thanks to David Watson for doing that. Now, that locomotive, along with 628, 835 and 834, which is sitting in the storage yards below, will probably be my maximum complement of intercity liveried class 47s. That said, you know we have here the regional railways rake, and I know that I've got 3 large logo liveried class 47s. I mean, they could actually pull that, or pull parcels trains. At the time that this layout was set in 1989, there was a famous class 47, one of the 20 pre-production ones, the so-called generators. 47406 was a celebrity one of them at one point, until 47401 gained that celebrity status when it got repainted by Rail Freight into its original two-tone green livery. Now, the reason I mentioned 47406 is those of you who are old enough, me included, will remember the Club Rail Riders, and that's what that locomotive was named. The plates were later transferred to 47488. 47406 at one point was a Gateshead allocated machine, and this regional railways rake works in the Newcastle to Clydebridge via Carlisle service. It wouldn't be a bad candidate to have the 47406 perhaps hauling it one day, so hence my comment, you never ever know. I've done a couple of bits of work on the bus station, the bus depot bit here, and you can see here we've got this bit of plywood installed here. Now the plan is that I'm going to put some wool kits over there to sort of make a sort of shuttering for that, make a sort of side walling like what I've done with the rugby ground there, and there'll be a sort of door in the middle there for the buses to come out and more walling and that. That plan may change, however, for a very good reason, because obviously next month is Model Rail Scotland 2019 and I will be attending it on the Saturday. And so the plan is that when I go to Model Rail Scotland, I may well end up getting something else for that in place. I might get a sort of Wills kit. So this area here might change. I'll also need to get a Gauge Master retaining wall to fit in there, and that'll complete that bit. Of course, once I get this bit here done, it just leaves me with the problem of how I'm going to sort this out here, this gap. And as I've mentioned already, I'm looking at the probability of using filler, car body repair filler. Now the other building that's over here, it'll be the Commonwealth Shopping Centre, and I've got signage already installed there. And if you see it there, Clydebridge department store. Obviously my dad, his first job when he left school after the Second World War was with the Co-op at Lagelly, so appropriate enough we have a Co-op department store there. I think maybe the Co-op, and maybe put the Commonwealth Shopping Centre sign there, and we'll see how it goes from that. And you also notice I've stuck some foliage just on the top there, just to simulate some weeds that are growing at the side of the building. It's a difficult area for people to get at to do any sorts of repairs. This layout is in a shed, but whether you've got a layout in a shed, garage, or your loft or a room, Mother Nature is always going to play a part in things. This here is a fan heater, and it's necessary for me to come down once a week and run the heater for a bit just to get some warmth into the shed so the locomotives don't freeze. The heater itself, as you can see there, has two speed settings, two speed settings. It's also got a cold fan and also the zero, meaning it's switched off. So the heat obviously rises and it warms the place up a bit. Now that's despite me having the silver foil insulation in. It's not actually attached fully, and once the layout is completed we'll get all the junk away and I'll be able to finish that off. But if you've got a layout up in a loft, one of these might be a good idea for the summertime, because as I say, that there, see the cold air, it would actually blow cold air instead. Now I'll just turn that off for a minute, and there is still quite a considerable heat. The thing about these fan heaters is you don't need them on all the time in a shed like this. On, off for a bit, on again. But they are, as I say, very useful for blasting out cold air in the summer. So if you're boiling hot up in your layout in the loft, consider investing in one of those as well. They have a handle to carry around, but if you look at this one here, it's got a couple of bits there that I suspect might be to hang it up somewhere. However, I would urge caution in doing that, because obviously you've got this bit at the back here, and that might expel air and it could become a potential fire hazard. So they are a good investment, but you have to just watch what you're doing with them. One of the major problems that I've had for a little while on this layout is at the station end, and it's at the motor rail ramp. And obviously the first thing, Clyde, was actually quite deep. It was going down like that. That was completely unworkable. So I've had another go, and what I originally done was I didn't have any normal household filler, but I read that you could use No More Nails as a filler. That's what it said in the packet. So I went and done that, and after 48 hours it just cracked like what you see the bit there. So I had an idea. I used the car body repair filler some time ago on the depot side, where there was actually space, where the shaper sheet had came up with the plaster going on it. And I had a thought, I wonder if I could use car body repair filler and shape it to that and get it to go on. And I think you could actually see there that I've managed to achieve that now. Obviously the painting leaves a bit to be desired. I'll need to actually sort that out, but that's actually using car body repair filler. It's not 100% smooth, but it's actually a lot better than the old thing that was on there. If you've ever think about actually going and trying to use car body repair filler, I'll explain to you how you actually use it. First of all, make sure you've got good ventilation, especially if it's up the loft. That fan heater I was on about, might be a good idea to use that on cold to actually blast anything away, because it can give it a bit of a pong. But what I done was, I took the car body repair filler and the hardener that comes with it, and it's a golf ball of filler to pea of hardener. Put more hardener in, it'll dry quicker. Put less hardener in, it'll dry slower. But give yourself about 10 minutes of working time with it. So don't mix too much up at a time, because it'll maybe go hard while you're using it. So I've done that, mixed up a little bit, and then I just spread it on and sorted the shape out a bit. I left it actually for about 20 minutes, and then smoothed it down as best I could with some sandpaper, and then left it for a couple of days, and then came down and painted it black. It is actually quite rock solid, and it actually it forms a bit of a rough surface there, but it has actually turned out quite well. The car body repair filler. Now you can get it from any automotive store like Halfords or an auto repair specialist that sells these sorts of things. And my own experience of Halfords is that they actually sell the hardener separately as well. So if you're only using little bits of car body repair filler with hardener, and you've still got loads of filler but no hardener, just go out, you could buy some hardener instead. You don't have to go out and buy the whole lot again. And the car body repair filler is actually quite useful as well for filling in metal gates, holes in metal gates for instance. I've even used it at home at the bottom of our stairway to fill up a hole that an electrician had made once, installing a light at the bottom of the stairway. There's still a bit of hole left, and I actually used the car body repair filler on that, and then painted it over a couple of coats of emulsion, and you can only barely tell the difference. So it is really useful stuff, car body repair filler. Obviously, as I say, it has to be used properly, and remember, you've got to use it quickly, so only mix a little bit at a time. And lastly, when I say about mixing a little bit at a time, remember too, the more you put on, the more you'll have to sand off as well. Usually they supply spreaders with it, so always, once you've finished with it, keep the spreader clean so it can get a sort of smoothish finish. That's one problem with mine, it wasn't 100% clean, so it's a bit rough there. However, I'm quite happy that I've now got a more realistic ramp going up there. Obviously this bit here is going to have to be the next challenge at some point in the future. While I'm down at the station end as well, the rest of these buffers are all going to get painted fully grey and then have yellow put on them at the end, I think. Or I may go for white here and red in them. However, that's a very simple job that I will try and do over the next few days and weeks. Going into the future, as I say, and I've already mentioned it, I'm going to try and get one of these light buffer stop lights that you actually just simply clip onto the track so that it can work off the DCC decoder when you transform, when you switch it on. And obviously platform number 1 at the far end here will be the guinea pig for that with the ScotRail Express set. Obviously overall I'm quite happy with that ramp there, and the painting of the buffers is going to be a major job for me, but I've got the grey paint and it's a job that needs to be done, and it will get done. And if I just actually look at one of them there next to 436, you actually see that one is painted grey. You could really see how well that's turned out there. So the rest of them will get their grey paint as well. Now the last bit of work I've done on the layout this month has actually just been up here at the town scene, where I've put some more walling in place, and also I've put some more foliage. Well, I'm calling it foliage, it's more like just rubbish up here. One problem I actually encountered when I was putting this on was that some of the glue was actually running underneath the wall, but it actually turned out to be a side benefit because this was actually a little bit flimsy at first, and it still is at this end, but right here it's a lot more solid now. And the glue has actually set in there. Some of it's not quite right, but it has covered over a lot of the black area. And if you contrast that to what we've got up here, you can see it's a lot of mixed foliage. It needs some more rubbish put over there. I noticed David Watson at Dean Park Station had a bike thrown over the wall at the caravan scene. So I think that'll possibly be in order for this layout. Obviously got a bit of paper up there, maybe put another bit of paper there to simulate a newspaper, and then get other little bits of rubbish that can be put over there. People might think that's spoiling things, putting a little bit of rubbish over there. It's actually making it realistic. You'll also notice as well that I've actually, on these bits here, I've actually painted the top bits grey now. So it's no longer showing the bare wood. At the top it's all painted grey. No more excuse me, no more development on the station buildings yet. Now the plan of attack for the next month, as I say, is a very small one. And that is obviously to paint the buffers, as I said there. And I'll see what I can get at Model Rail Scotland. I'm not planning to get locomotives at Model Rail Scotland, but I am planning to get at Model Rail Scotland replacement Bachmann coaches for these Hornby coaches, because obviously the couplings are crap, to be honest with you. And what it'll actually be for this new Bachmann rake that I'll have is, it will be a BSO in Intercity livery, and we'll have the TSO in blue-grey livery, and instead of the first class coach, the RFO, it'll be the RFB, as you see here, coupled to Tamar. One last thing, if you actually notice in between the coaches, just see there, the two coaches have got pipe couplings now, as is used on the ScotRail Express service, and I believe that I've found that's actually helping to keep the coaches coupled together and avoids them going piggyback over each other. and causing derailments. I haven't tried it yet with this one, but I've tried it with the ScotRail Express push-pull. But I will try it at some point with this set, and I believe it's going to be successful. So that certainly would be the only rolling stock I would be looking to purchase at Model Rail Scotland. A lot of the other stuff I'm looking to purchase will probably just be accessories, like some speed signs for the layout, possibly a signal gantry, which I badly need for platforms 5 and 4 there. Number 6 could get away with one just there, but so it wouldn't need a gantry as such, but 4 and 5 would need a gantry. Although further looking at it, maybe platform 6 could have a gantry covered by the gantry too. 10 Commandments, which are based in Inverkeithing, which are local to me, usually attend Model Rail Scotland, so if they've got their stall there with various things, I'll certainly be looking to get items from that. I'm not necessarily planning to purchase track yet, but I do need a couple more buffer stops as well to finish off which would allow the depot to be finished. But if I do go and buy track, it's only a small amount of track I need, and then that would actually complete the depot, and not all the track work would be completed, and it'll just be the scenic work. So we'll see how it goes with that. Because of what's all happening, I'm not planning to do too much on the layout over the next few weeks before the February 2019 update. So therefore, what will likely happen with the February update is I'll simply be showing you what I got at Model Rail Scotland, as well as probably showing what the buffer stops might well look like once they're done. I don't think there's going to be much, if anything, done in terms of work on the layout over the next month, physical work, or what you might call engineering work on the layout. There's lots of little accessories I need to purchase. Cable chunking, for instance. I mentioned buffer stops there. I've got signage, fencing to get. And it's these accessories that I'm going to try and get at Model Rail Scotland. There are Model Rail shows also local to me at Glenrothes, Cooper, St Andrews later in the year as well. So I might also get stuff from that. But certainly there's a few things that I would like to get at Model Rail Scotland next month. And the February update will actually coincide with the timing of Model Rail Scotland this year. The two will come together, so that means that there'll be very little done in terms of work on the layout. It'll just be a case of keeping the trains running for the moment. Now, as is usual, before I go, it's only right and proper that I go and mention to some other layouts out there on YouTube and in the wide world. And I mentioned to you already Dean Park Station with David Watson. His January update is actually more of a tour of his layout, showing you where he's got up to throughout the whole layout, and you get to see some driver's eye view shots of it as well, of the top part of it, so do have a check out of that. Everard Junction, which is set in the Network South East era, Dean Park set in the same era as mine, ScotRail. Everard Junction's had a couple of new videos brought out recently, including steam running on the layout. You won't see that happen on this layout, I'm afraid. Sorry to disappoint you, steam enthusiast fans. Dudley Central and New Junction have also recently brought out some new videos. Now, New Junction in particular, he's got a review of the 2019 Hornby range, so have a look at that and see what you think of it. If you're also very keen on your layouts at depots, then Wilton TMD, who supplied me with one of my locomotives, 47535, they have a excellent YouTube channel and Facebook page, so do please check them out. And lastly, Kirkton Road Junction. Now this one, I believe he's based in Fife, so I'm going to have to ask him very nicely if he is based in Fife. But his layout is set in the same era as mine and David Watson's, the late 1980s ScotRail era, when locomotive hauled trains ruled the roost. Kirkton Road Junction. Check him out. So that brings this January update to an end. February, as I say, will just probably be showing you what I've purchased at Model Rail Scotland. I don't anticipate much being done on the layout. So in the meantime, thank you very much indeed for watching, and if you have any comments, queries or suggestions, please leave them in the comments page and I'll try and read them. Thank you very much for watching and enjoy your layouts. Bye bye for now.